I am a Jamaican Canadian who moved to Africa, and I've been here for approximately 5 years-ish. I'm going to give you guys a comparison because I lived in Ghana previously and I'm now living in Lagos. So I wanted to compare the two and give you all my thoughts on what living in either country has been like for me.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you for clicking on today's video. If you are seeing me for the first time, my name is Lillian and I welcome you to another video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. Please do well to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the like button because this video means a lot to me. I have been waiting for this video for almost a year and I'm glad we finally have it. Yay! Okay, I will call this the biggest Ghana versus Nigeria comparison video. A lot of people are saying, don't stop comparing. No, people has right to say, okay, when I was in Canada, this is the experience, especially here on YouTube, where people are searching for information about things and places to either visit or to avoid visiting. So there's nothing wrong with comparing your experience here and your experience there. And this particular one is coming from somebody that is best to do this because she is not Nigerian, she is not Ghanaian, she is just a neutral body. So from time to time, I'll pause to throw light on some things and then we continue. Let's go into it.
Oh, my name is Rochelle, for those of you who don't already know me. So quick backstory, I am a Jamaican Canadian who moved to Africa. Of course, you were the title of this video, and I'm going to give you guys a comparison because I lived in Ghana previously and I'm now living in Lagos. So I wanted to compare the two and give you all my thoughts on what living in either country has been like for me personally. Okay? So it's funny because I feel like Ghana and Nigeria have this like ongoing feud or something. So as similar as they are, there are also a lot of differences, you know? So I hope I don't add fuel to the fire today. Yeah, but without any further ado, let's just get into it. So as I mentioned before, I moved to Ghana approximately 5 years ago, and I spent about 4 years there, give or take. While I was there, I started a burger restaurant with my partner, and the idea was to also start one here in Nigeria, and it's coming. So that is the main reason why I've ended up in Lagos. Had 2 children when I first moved to Ghana, and now I've had another one. Bop bop. Aw, so cute. So I'm just putting things into context for you to, you know, just give you a little idea of where I'm coming from, like as a mom and everything like that. These are in no particular order. I just kind of listed a few things that I thought I could touch on. The overall environment. So I have to say a major thing as well. I'm comparing the two major cities, I guess. So Accra is the capital of Ghana, and Abuja is the capital here, but Lagos is like the popular city central that most people are familiar with. And then within Lagos, you have the islands. So I live on the islands. So it's islands versus the mainland, and they're pretty different places to live, you know? So my experience has only been on the islands. I've only lived here, so I know the mainland is different. I haven't experienced that. So when I'm referring to Lagos, I'm referring to the islands. And when I refer to Ghana, I'm referring to Accra.
Sis is walking on an eggshell. She's just being so careful. Which one is, when you are referring to Lagos, you're referring to the island? So what happens to mainland? Mainland is part of Lagos too. So Lagos is okay. And if you understand her, it simply means that in Nigeria, we have 2 things. There must be a VIP at everything in life, including a church. Yeah, because if you have the money, you can sit at the front row of a church. So in Lagos, we have 2 Lagos in the same Lagos. The island, obviously, for the rich people. and those with money. And then the mainland is for everybody. Because they don't know where they're going to throw away the poor. Where are they going to throw them away? Not like poor, but the island is a VIP of Lagos. Okay, in Ghana, you can't say that. Everywhere is everywhere. Like you can literally, like, Accra is one Accra. We have eyebrow areas, okay, but that division to say, okay, this is this is that. We don't do that here in Ghana. But let's continue though. And I know she's being careful. She don't want to get into trouble, but don't worry, Sissy. I'll take your trouble. Let's go.
One thing that I really appreciate about Ghana versus Nigeria is the electricity. In Ghana, it's called ECG. In Accra, it's NEPA. So NEPA is not provided consistently at all. It goes off every single day, whereas in Accra, the electricity is constant, and there would be times where there wouldn't be any electricity, but it's not as bad as here. So if you're going to live in Lagos, you have to have a generator. I lived in Accra without a generator. I didn't have a generator. So when the electricity went out, okay, we would just be in the dark, but that wasn't that often. Like, it was not that often. But you cannot survive without a generator of some sort here. Because, NEPA, it just comes whenever it wants and goes whenever it wants. They do have, like, tiers of electricity provision. So depending on where you live, there will be more NEPA. There's, like, A, B, C, or D. I think I'm on B, like Schedule B, they call it. So I do get NEPA, a couple times a week. But yeah, it's just not enough. You need to have a generator, or you need to have a solar system or a battery system to survive.
Oh, I told you, in my country, everything has the lower class. I mean, there must always be that division to let you as a human being know that if you don't have a certain amount of money, you are supposed to be kept down below. So that's it. But where Sissy lives, she's supposed to have all the electricity because she lives in the island where the rich people lives. So even in the island, okay, let's go. Let's keep going. Mm-hmm.
So that's frustrating. Also, where I live, I don't know if it's the whole island, guys. Chime in here in the comment section, but the water is pretty crazy. So most estates have like a water treatment thing to provide water to the estate. Yeah, but the water is pretty bad. So at one point in my estate, the water filter broke or something, and the water was like stinky. It was stinky, guys. I didn't even want to tell people because it was just so horrific that the estate didn't have like clean water. And it was like that for like a week. And I was bathing with sachet water, like boiling water. And even now that the water filter has been replaced, the water is still, it's not the cutest. It's not the cutest. So those are things you may have.
Should I tell Sis the truth? Should I tell her the truth? It was not your estate alone. We've seen in the news that Lekki people has issue with their water. As expensive, as highbrow, as that part of Lagos is, their water, we heard, is bad. And it is so bad that most of the slave queens you see that lives in that part of Lagos, they use sachet water to shower. So we heard. So it's not just her estate, it's not your estate alone, okay? I know you're trying to be careful, you don't want to get into trouble. Aww. Don't worry, I will take your trouble. Let's go.
To deal with in comparison to Ghana. I've absolutely never had a water issue in Ghana. The water has never been smelly or looked dirty or anything like that. That's just my experience, guys. I'm not putting down the whole country. I'm just telling you what I have been through personally. Okay, guys? So calm down. Yes, but I have heard, I don't know if it's the islands in general that has like a really big water issue, like water sanitation issue. Or I don't know if it's the whole of Lagos. I don't know if the mainland also experiences this with water, but that's been my experience. So, yeah.
It's only the island, okay? In Lagos, at the mainland, they have their water is good, and not just good in terms of not having a bad odor. The water is good for the skin too. The water is skin friendly, like it's very good. You can bath with it. It's soft, it's easy. I don't know if you understand the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, there are waters that are hard on the skin, but not the Lagos water. The mainland water is good, okay? So let's move to the next part.
Overall, if I compare Ghana to Nigeria as well, Nigeria gives me like a wannabe New York vibe. I want to say wannabe, I just think there's so much concrete, lots of tall buildings, you know? And I say
tall buildings at where? Hey sis, don't worry, you don't want to get into trouble. You're just trying to be like tall buildings, Biba, or like where the tall buildings are. Why Lagos seems to you like New York or wanna be New York? It is because it is busy, crowded, and busy. Like busy and busy to the point of, oh my God, I can't do this. Like it is busy and never a dull moment, okay? That is the only similarity Lagos and New York has, according to the New York I have been seeing on the internet, because I've not been there before. And of course, the taxes, the color of the taxes, they have it in common with New York. Beside that, okay, anyway, let's continue.
Want to be because there's no electricity, or not no electricity, but you know, it can be a little up and down. But Ghana, in comparison, Ghana gives me island vibes. It gives me like Jamaica vibes. That's how it feels to be there. I find there's more greenery in Ghana. And of course, the population in Ghana and Nigeria is very, very different. Millions more people here in Nigeria than Ghana. So, you know, naturally, it's gonna be a little bit quieter in Ghana, which I did enjoy that quiet, that tranquility. It was very peaceful, you know, and I think that's why people actually do love Ghana so much as well, because it is like an island vibe. It's relaxing, it's chill, you know. Whereas Nigeria is very fast paced, there's a lot of people, there's a lot going on, which is also something I really love about Nigeria in comparison to Ghana. But an increased population is going to mean an increased level of activity in town, right? So it's like louder here in Nigeria, in Lagos anyway. That's what I was saying. It's like New York. New York is very kind of loud, like all around. Like you can hear people hustling, bustling, and you can hear cars beeping.
Now you are talking, sis. Okay, don't be afraid. Don't worry. Okay, I don't think there's any sane person that will watch this video and be angry with this lady, because sis touched every angle just as it is, without being biased, and she touched all the right spots. So now you're talking. Let's continue.
That's how Nigeria is. Next point is renting. So I'm going to talk about renting because that's my experience. I've never purchased here or there, so I'm just going to tell you what I've been through. And renting in Lagos is a nightmare. It's an actual nightmare. It took us like 6 months to secure a place to rent. It's like applying for a job that everybody wants. And then the landlord or the property manager, they don't even like get back to you to let you know if you've won the place. Like it's like a lottery, guys, and it's just like crazy. Even my friend, she's renting a place right now, and a funny example is she had like, for some reason here, you need to have a man on your thing.
Hold on, let's take that again, okay? Because I've talked about that here forever and ever, and then you hear people coming to say your video is so hard to watch, your video they pay me. It go pain you. It's gonna pain you because the truth is painful. Truth is bitter. Let's take that again.
For some reason here, you need to have a man on your thing. For some reason here, need to have a man on your thing. If you're just a woman, who cares if you have a job or you're a billionaire? If you're just a woman, who cares if you have a job or you're a billionaire? You have to have a man on your application. Even this application thing is crazy. Like, you have to fill out this long application like you're really applying for a job. And it's just crazy. Now, in comparison to Accra, I've never had an issue finding a place to rent, except for like maybe being picky about what place I want to choose. Also, there's no form to fill out. You tell them you want the place and you give them the money. And that's pretty much it.
That is for her coming from another country or continent. But if you're coming from Nigeria, you are a man or a woman. If you're coming from Nigeria, you're not going to get the same experience. I'm saying this for a reason, okay? I have a video coming up soon and we are talking about that. So if you're a woman and you're Nigerian and you see this video, you'll be like, I was in Lagos, I was in Ghana now, I wanted to rent. They refused me. They said I'm this. Yeah, they refuse you not because you're a woman. They refuse you because you're Nigerian. Being a woman and being Nigerian is not the same, okay? So let's continue.
They'll give you a lease agreement, but yeah, that's all. And also, then these fees are just really also kind of crazy. So there's 10% fees, and then also depending on where it is you want to live in Lagos, or I want to say the islands anyway, the estate will charge like a diesel fee because most estates will have a generator on the compound to supply you with electricity in the absence of NEPA. So that diesel amount is like just another amount. So let's say the rent is like 10 million, which is like maybe 8,000 US or something like that, or 7,000 something US for the year. That sounds great. Like, ooh, 7,000 for the year, 6,000 for the year, whatever. But then when you start adding all these fees, so there's 10% caution. So the caution fee is the security deposit. So it's 10%. And then you pay legal. So you pay a lawyer to look over your stuff, which is also 10%. And then you obviously give your agent 10%. So that 10 million turns into 15 million. And of course, after that, you have to buy your AC unit. You have to maybe buy your own generator system or battery or solar, whatever it is you might have to get. So just on top of your rent, it can just like double. It's just doubling, you know? And I've never experienced that in Accra. The places I've lived have all had an AC unit. And I told you the ECG, which is the electricity in Ghana, is just a lot better. So I've never had to get a generator either. So it's just seemingly a bit more cost efficient renting in Ghana, at least in my experience. Also, there is absolutely no way, almost pretty much, yeah, no way, no one's gonna accept less than a 12-month commitment. In Ghana, I've gotten away so many times with 6 months. I've never paid a year upfront in my life. I've always paid 6 months and it's been acceptable. So that's also, you know, a challenge coming here to Lagos, finding somewhere to live.
Let's get to the most important part of the video for me, which is this part.
Also socially, like when it comes to children, I think Ghana was more friendly for children. Wherever I lived, my son Jordan could go outside. And when I mean outside, I mean like outside of my compound. Like he could leave the compound and I was never worried at all. He would ride his bike around the area and I felt safe about that. And there would be other kids that he could play with, other like local children. And they weren't, of course, as privileged as Jordan or us, but they were still able to socialize with Jordan. Like Jordan could still be their friend and it would make sense still. Whereas here, I wouldn't really let him like ride his bike outside of the compound. And I don't know if it's like maybe just where I live, but I don't think it's likely that he'll find other children that he can be compatible with on a social level to be friends with, like to vibe with. And it's not about being prejudiced or anything like that, but their experiences are so different, it'll be more difficult for him to relate and be friends with certain children. Do you get it? He had friends in Ghana who were not as privileged, but they could still relate to each other. Like they still understood each other, and Jordan enjoyed playing with those kids. And when it comes to like teenagers, because my daughter is a teenager, she, I think, has a more difficult time finding friends. And someone explained to me that Nigerian culture, they mostly do send their children away, like to boarding school. So there might not be children like in town like that. Whereas in Ghana, Naomi was more easily able to make friends, like outside and find friends. And I haven't had a ton of experience to really talk.
Hold up. This part is funny. Sis, the person lied to you. The person lied. The truth is, the same struggle the same concern that you have about your son making friends is the same concern. Is the same reason your daughter can't find friends easily in Lagos, the part of Lagos you guys live. Because see, maybe we should let her finish before I give my take on this one, because I feel like after this we should just conclude and let it be. If you want to see the full video, you can head to the channel. I mean, who goes to boarding school more than Ghanaians? The boarding school culture in Nigeria is not as big as it is here in Ghana. In Ghana, you see boarding school, it's a big culture here. Yet kids still find people to relate with. They still find friends. So that's not the reason. The reason is just, the same concern you have about your son is the same concern that you have about your daughter. I mean, the struggle to find compatibility in other kids, because you have been living in countries like Canada, Ghana. You have invested heavily in your children. You've taught them a lot of things. You've taught them respect and human values. Now they are going out there to meet with kids that I cannot talk because they say my video is paining them. If it pain you and you are still alive, then it's not paining you. It has to pain you until you hug a transformer, man. But my sister, she's being too careful. And you see, I blame Ghana men. You see why this woman go? I will tell you later in the video
about this, but I'm not sure if the Nigerian boys and girls are as accommodating to try to make you comfortable or be your friend, So, I don't know. Comment down below. Are Ghanaian youth more friendly, or are Nigerian youth more friendly and more accommodating? So you guys let me know, but just from what I've seen, I kind of feel like Ghanaian young people are more accommodating. Also, socially, I think status is more of a thing here in Nigeria or Lagos, the islands. Yes, and there's a lot more social, I think, groups. Is that what I'd call it? Social groups? In Ghana, I think everyone who's anyone knows everyone, so once you're in that circle, I think for the most part, you've met like most of the other people in the circle, where I feel like here in Lagos, there's so many different circles that it's possible to continue to meet people that are on your same social level. It's weird to even say that. So there's a lot of people here. Yeah, so there's different social circles. Yes. So I find that is a big difference comparing to Ghana.
So does that mean that in Ghana there are no boarding schools? Sis, it has nothing to do with boarding school, okay? I understand that you are being careful. You don't want to get into trouble. You don't want to offend anybody because people don't like the truth. But you are saying the truth, sis. And your truth is as beautiful as you look. And I love it. Keep it up. So it has nothing to do with boarding school, that they're lying. Okay, they're actually lying. It's not because of boarding school. And I think you should keep your kids, let them just keep them. I mean, they don't have to make friends, because I don't even think you're going to be able to live in Nigeria for long. Our kids are being taught to not associate with commoners. And they need to get to know you, that you are rich. I mean, the mothers, before they will allow their kids to associate with your kids, they have to be sure that you are rich. So if you want friends for your kids, you have to make friends with their mothers and fathers. Get to know how fat their bank accounts are. Get to know how rich they are, get to know their investments, get to know the countries they've traveled to. They probably didn't know that she is Canadian. By the time they know, your kid's gonna have tons of friends, okay? Because that is how it is back there. Everything is transactional, okay? Transactional. And I'm glad to sit here today to do this video, because I have talked about the blending culture in Ghana. My little girl is 4 years old, and sometimes she just want to trouble me, and she tells me, "Mommy, I want to go outside and buy toffee." Yes, I let her go. Yeah, I let her go alone outside to buy toffee. I dare not, except in my village. That's the only time I can allow her attempt that in Nigeria. Attempt to go out alone to buy anything, like open my door and go out, 4 years old, to buy something. So the friendship in Nigeria is not just something that you bump into someone and you become friends. It doesn't work like that. Friendship in Nigeria is like an investment, okay? See, anybody that want to buy himself, feel free. The comment section is there. Roast your mother, roast your father. But the hard truth is, friendship in Nigeria, especially in that part of Nigeria, I would say that the Yorubas are big on this one. Yes, you see the Yorubas, they are big on this one. Especially this part of Nigeria, the Yoruba land. You don't just make friends with everybody. It's according to your caliber. Okay, you make friends with your class and caliber. That's it. So if you want friends for your kids, it's very easy. As a Canadian, just get to meet their mothers. Let them know you are Canadian living in Nigeria. Your kids are going to have, your kids will have so many friends that you would even be tired. They will come for audition for you to select friends for your kids. That is how it is done over there. Not all part of Nigeria. When it comes to this mingling thing, and the western part of Nigeria, they are a little bit big on who is your mother, who is your father. You don't just mix like that. But the south and east, we blend. Everybody can just go on. It's when people are grown, that is when they decide, to just be. So basically, that part of Nigeria, that is what you get, sis. Let's move to the next one.
So I think that plays a factor in why things seem to be expensive in Ghana. Yes, you have a lot of expats here in Lagos as well, but things are still relatively more affordable here than in Accra. So I'll give you an example. Like at one point, a handful of tomatoes in Accra was like $5. Whereas here you can get a bucket of tomatoes for $5.
I've been to all the regions in Ghana. Savannah, I've been to the northern parts, I've been to the upper east, I've been to upper west, I've been to the east, I've been to the Ashanti, I've been to Volta, I've been to I live in Greater Accra. I've been to the central region. I've been to so many places in Ghana. The west, I've been to the western part of Ghana. And the cost of living there, you can't compare it to Nigeria. Yo, people tell you, oh, Accra is expensive. Go to other places. Yes, I know in Kumasi, yeah. Kumasi is less expensive. Kumasi is less expensive than Accra. Yes, there are other places in Nigeria that are less expensive than Lagos. So the cost of living in Ghana is higher than the cost of living in Nigeria. I won't be surprised that Rochelle will come back to Ghana. And I'm even surprised that she's living in Nigeria for this long. Like, I expected her to have come back long time ago. The moment I saw a video of her relocating to Lagos, Nigeria, I subscribed to her channel and turned on the bell and patiently waited for this video because I know it will happen. And I was waiting to see how she's going to pull through. And I know, even now, I know one day she will come back to Ghana. And I blame Ghanaian men. This beautiful woman have been living here. None of you married her. None of you, until a Nigerian man came into her life and took her to Nigeria. Una see una self. You see me, I'm here in Ghana. I've been living here close to 3 years. None of you have reached out to marry me. It's okay, I'm joking. For me, I'm not looking for a husband. And even if I do, I don't want a husband through my channel. Because people tend to judge you without getting to know you. As for me, I'm joking. I'm not looking for a husband. I do not want to marry my subscriber. Okay, if you are my subscriber, you have it in mind to ask me out for marriage. Cancel it. I will not marry you. I don't want it. I don't want to get married to someone that knows me through my YouTube channel. There's a reason for that, because these relationships don't even go to anywhere. You just today, someone will tell you, oh, I love you because you are bold. I love you because you are honest. And then when we start dating, the same person will tell me, and then the person will tell me, I want to marry. I want us to get to know each other. By the time you get to know each other, they'll start reading orientations for you. Oh, I don't want you to do this type of video, do that. So you see me, I don't want my subscriber for a husband, okay? But if you guys have married this beautiful lady, she would have been in Ghana. Anyway, I'm joking. She can always come back. I really like she can always come back. For those that are looking to move to either Nigeria or Ghana, this video can work perfect for you. If you don't know her channel, I'll leave the link in the description of this video so you can follow her and follow her journey and see and probably watch the full video on her channel for better understanding. As for me, I'm done with this video, as I'll see you in my next one to do.